Hey guys, today we're going to do a video on downforce in the golf swing. It's a huge topic in the golf industry right now, and it's a video that I've wanted to create for a while because there's really four key questions that we want to answer. The first is, what is downforce? The second is, how do I measure it? The third is, why does it matter? And the fourth is, what can I do to get better at it? So the first question I'd like to answer is, what is downforce? Downforce is quite simply, how hard are you pushing down in your golf swing? And there, of course, there are different phases of the golf swing where your body's working differently in relationship to downforce. So for example, your trail leg, as you load into the top of your backswing, is going to be pushing down into the ground to stabilize your body. The downforce, version of downforce that we find is most effective for producing higher club head speed is actually lead leg downforce. And lead leg downforce is the amount of pressure you push down as you start to transition from the top of your backswing down to impact. And there's actually a downforce zone where you want to have peak lead leg downforce. And that zone essentially exists from lead arm parallel to club shaft parallel as you're bringing the club down. So we'd like to see your weight shifting to your left side and your peak lead leg downforce getting to be at least 165% of your body weight by the time that club shaft is parallel to the ground as you're bringing the club down into impact. So in this video, I'm going to be standing behind the camera, which is a little different for me, but I wanted to do that so you could see exactly what I'm looking at from my point of view. What we have down here in the ground are our Smart2Move force plates. Smart2Move is a really cool company that has been working with golf for a long time and trying to unlock the secrets of downforce and ground forces that golfers use to optimize their power while they're playing the game. And we bought our Smart2Move force plates about a year ago, and it really changed how we train our athletes. And the simple fact that, yes, before we had force plates, we did plyometrics. Yes, we did sprinting drills. Yes, we did squatting and deadlifts and all this stuff. But what it gave us is an instant feedback tool to help people see exactly how to use the ground to generate power. And I, for one, am a great example of an athlete that thought he was using the ground, but really didn't understand how to and actually wasn't. The Smart2Move force plates are just a great tool because, as you can see, they're actually portable. So you can pick up the force plates, move them around, reposition them, wider, narrower, depending on someone's stance. And the software program is really cool too because it allows you to really get a good idea of what's happening in real time. And we use these in our fitness exercises and our golf swing exercises to help teach the fundamentals of developing ground force. And what you'll see in this video of one of our athletes is they have a really nice window on the screen that you can actually see the golfer moving through their golf swing. And it directly relates to where they're at with their downforce. So what you're looking at here is obviously a video screen of the golfer on the upper left. On the upper right, we have center of mass. So you're going to notice a red dot and a blue dot and a gold dot. The gold dot in the middle is their person's center of mass, and the blue dot and the red dot are where their center of pressure is in their right and left foots, or the terms we will use in this video will be lead leg, trail leg. And because this is a right-handed golfer, obviously lead leg is left leg, trail leg is right leg. And you can see as they're set up over the ball, if I go back to their setup, they're set up with a little bit of their weight bias to the left side. They're 55% of their body weight on the left, 45 on the right. As they initiate their downswing, what we're going to be looking at is these graphs on the bottom. The red line represents how much weight they're pushing down with their trail leg. The blue line represents how much weight they're pushing down with on their lead leg. And the gold line represents how much total weight they're pushing down with during their swing. And you can see those lines intersecting, peaking, decreasing, and we're going to go through all of that right now to help you understand how to use this technology to improve your downforce. So let's start him into his backswing. You're going to notice as he initiates his backswing, this red line starts to increase on the bottom graph. You're going to start to see how that ramps up. And what we're noticing there too is that the little gold center of mass dot is going to start going into his trail side. Now he's loading that trail leg, getting a little bit of extra body weight onto that trail side, and you'll notice his lead leg is lightening up. Very common sense moves in the golf swing. We all load the right side, and as he's bringing that club higher and higher and higher up to the top of his backswing, you'll see that his weight stays pretty stable on that right side. It's not changing a lot. His center of mass is right around 70% if you look in this upper right corner. Now he's at the top of his backswing, and he's going to start to make his transition into his downswing. Very important. You're going to start to see these graphs start to change shape. Now he's getting into his left side. You can see his hip moving left. You're going to see this gold dot moving to the blue square. Yep, he's moving over, picking up speed. Now, right here, he's going to start to ramp up the weight that he's pushing down with into his lead leg. And you can also see that he's going to start to generate some club head speed here. So it's bringing that club down, loading that lead leg with more weight, more weight, more weight, more weight, more weight. We're in the optimal zone right now for peak downforce development in the lead leg during the golf swing to maximize club head speed right here. It's from lead arm parallel to club shaft parallel. So this is the middle of it right now. And he's going to be continuing to generate downforce as he brings that club shaft parallel. And you notice that he's probably a little delayed. If I'm going to be tough on this guy, he's coming in at it a little late, and this is an opportunity for us to help to teach him how to develop his ground force faster, earlier in his downswing, to maximize his timing to generate more club head speed. Okay? And this is something that we've been working with him in the gym on, working on teaching him better jumping techniques so that he can be better at doing this in his golf swing. The golf swing is a very athletic move, and it's really important when you're golf training that you're helping people improve their athleticism, which includes plyometrics and jumping and reaction time. So now you'll notice is that as he comes through, downforce is decreasing. He's actually unweighting. His body's getting lighter on his feet as his club is rising up and kind of carrying his body upwards toward the sky. His body's lightening up, and then he'll come back down and settle into his body again, looking at the graphs down here. And then once his swing is finished and he's balanced, he's right back to that kind of finished position on his left side, looking good. A couple key points that I didn't bring up during the video just now is how much downforce is a good amount of downforce to have. Now, you can see on this graph that there's actually a dashed line, and that's right around 165% of your body weight pushing down into the lead leg. So we're wanting this blue line to get above that dashed line. That dashed line is the norm. So we want to be above the norm. PGA Tour average is about 195% of body weight in the lead leg. And remember, that's in that optimal zone right in here as you're bringing the club down. Okay, so with this athlete, what we can do as trainers is say, okay, we're going to work on some plyometrics, we're going to work on jumping, we're going to work on some coordination, and then we're going to bring him into the bay and help him integrate that into his golf swing. Okay guys, today we're going to answer the question, we're going to go through the process of how do you feel downforce, and that question is answered in how do we teach downforce. And what we love to do at Empower is use the actual force plates to teach the feeling of downforce. And the Smart to Move force plates are great because they're mobile. We can move them anywhere in our gym to teach these concepts to our clients, and that's critically important in the learning process, especially transitioning from the gym to the golf swing in the bay, from the golf swing in the bay to the golf swing on the course. It's critically important to learn how to feel downforce in the gym first. And we use the Smart to Move force plates to do that. So I wanted to start the exercise portion of our video in showing you and demonstrating to you how we teach our clients how to feel downforce in their exercises. So the first thing that we like to do is get people onto the force plates and help them understand how to feel weight shift and how to feel also that pushing down concept. So I'm going to get onto the force plates. You're going to see the lines start to move. And remember from our last video, the gold line is total body weight. The blue line is the amount of weight I'm pushing down with my lead leg. And the red line is the amount of weight I'm pushing down with my trail leg. And because I'm a right-handed golfer, of course, my trail leg is my right leg, my lead leg is my left leg. So I'm going to hop up on the force plates, and you're going to see the lines start to move. You're going to see the gold line go up, the blue line and the red line should be relatively close together. Now I'm going to work on shifting my weight a little bit. I'm going into that trail leg. You're going to see the red line go up. I'm going to go into that lead leg, my left leg. You're going to see that blue line go up, and that's showing you that I'm loading weight down through that side of my body, creating the downforce concept, okay? So I'm pushing down with the trail leg, I'm pushing down with the lead leg, I'm coming back to the center. These are important concepts to learn as we build these concepts into people's workouts. So first exercise that I like to teach people is simply to grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and we are going to practice a squat. Now, for many years, as a physical therapist and a guy who loves the gym, I would do my exercises really slow, trying to avoid injury, trying to be very safe, keep my knees healthy, keep my back healthy. And what I learned when I bought the force plates is I had been training myself to not really use the ground. I thought I was using the ground, and I realized that I wasn't. And we like to say that the data doesn't lie here at Empowered. The force plates are they're a great teaching tool, and they're a great tool for people to see if they're doing something right or wrong. So I was lifting in a very safe way, but I wasn't creating any downforce. So I'm going to show you how I was lifting. So I'd get into a goblet squat, and then I'm going to bring myself down nice and slow, nice and safe, perfect form, and then I'm going to raise myself back up, okay? I'm going to drop myself down. Remember, this is how I used to lift. Very little downforce. You're not going to see those lines move a whole lot. That's a safe lifting technique. What I'm doing biomechanically is I'm dropping my hips back and down, and then I'm clenching my glutes and pushing my hips forward. But what I'm not doing is I'm not pushing down into the ground. So now I'm going to do a couple reps with some downforce, and you're going to see the lines move a lot more. The first rep I'm going to do is going to be a slow and controlled lowering, and then I'm going to quickly push down into the ground with my feet. I'm going to raise myself back up. That way, instead of focusing on my glutes and pushing my hips forward, I'm going to focus on pushing down with my feet. So here we go. I'm going to lower down nice and slow, and now I'm going to push down with my feet, and you're going to see those lines peak. They're going to spike up and settle back down to that flat position. I'm going to push down with my legs. You'll see the spike. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to push down with my legs. You'll see the spike. Now, the next concept I want to teach you is how to unload, because if you're going to load through the ground, or if you're going to create down force with your feet, before you do that, if you're going to do it quickly, I should say, you have to unload first. And if you notice in those first few reps, I didn't unload at all. Those lines are relatively flat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get those lines to drop down. That's going to show us that we're unloading. And that is the secret of producing powerful downforce with your feet. You have to unload first before you can load. And you're going to see that spike go up much higher, okay? So the secret of unloading is simply unweighting your feet, right? It's a pretty simple concept, but it's kind of hard to do. So let's try it. So I'm going to unload my feet, and you're going to notice that I drop down much more quickly. So I'm going to drop down and press up, okay? I'm going to drop down and press up. So what I've done is I've unloaded and then pushing down with my legs into the force plates as hard as I can. So now what you're seeing the lines go down, and then you see them spike up from that low position. And that's how I'm going to start to generate power through the ground in my golf swing, okay? The next concept that we like to teach is we like to go from vertical. We like to start to add in some weight shift and rotation with our unloading and loading concepts. And now you're going to start to see the lines separate a little bit. I'm going to load into my right side. I'm going to shift my weight into the left. You're going to see the right side unload. You're going to see the left side load. When I shift right or into my trail side, you're going to see the lead leg unload. When I shift into that side, you're going to see it load and spike up, okay? Really important concepts we just covered with simple exercise. Now we're just making it a little bit more complicated. So I have a 12-pound medicine ball here. It's a soft-sided medicine ball. My goal is to load into my trail side. I'm gonna throw the ball down, just right in front of my trail leg, okay? But while I'm throwing the ball down, just before I do that, I'm gonna load my lead leg, and then I'm gonna push down with that lead leg. And you're gonna see that blue line spike up, okay? So I want you to pay attention to the blue line. When I load into my right side, you're gonna see it drop. And then as I shift over to that lead leg, you're gonna see that blue line spike up, okay? Here we go. So I'm gonna take that medicine ball back, I'm gonna shift left, I'm gonna throw that ball down as hard as I can, okay? Now, I'm throwing the ball down as hard as I can, but I'm starting that motion, not with my hand, but with my lead leg. So as I shift left, I'm pushing down hard with that left leg into the ground, spiking that blue line up. As I push down hard with that lead leg, this trail arm fires down towards the ground as fast as I can. It all starts in that lead leg and how hard I'm pushing down. Let's check it out again. So here we go. I'm gonna go into that trail side, loading that trail leg. Notice the blue line drops down. Okay, so here, load that lead leg, pushing down through the ground, firing that arm down towards the ground as fast as I can. These are the simple concepts that we try to teach to all of our clients that are trying to produce more club head speed by producing more downforce during their golf swing. They're simple concepts, but they can be really hard for people to grasp without the data to help them understand what they're actually doing. Now, in our next series, I'm going to take us through 4 or 5 exercises that we use without the force plates to help teach people how to improve their downforce during their exercises. Okay, so we've gotten through what is downforce, why is it important, how do I measure it? We've talked about the Smart to Move force plates and analyzing downforce throughout the golf swing. Now I'd like to get to 4 or 5 of our favorite exercises to help teach our golfers, especially our golfers over 50, how to create downforce using fitness to improve their golf swing. So we're going to cover a couple of key concepts in downforce production and how it relates to fitness, the 3 components of how we use the ground or how we use force against the ground. There's vertical force, there's horizontal force, and there's rotational force. So today I'm going to take you through our developmental series and how we teach our older golfers, and by older I mean over 50, over 55, how to get re-engaged with the ground to learn how to produce power through the ground better. And we always start with a box. Boxes are really critical tools that we use all the time to teach these concepts. And we have some really nice boxes from Rogue. They're padded and they're great for teaching. But the first thing that I like to teach is just simply how to jump. And I know most people feel like they know how to jump, but there's actually a proper way to jump. And there are probably many improper ways to jump. So we're going to talk about the proper way and specifically how to jump using the ground. And it's really interesting to see how people forget how to do that over time. And I myself totally forgot. I'm 47, and I forgot how to jump properly. I was jumping with my toes a lot, not really using my big muscles. We want to use the big muscles in our legs to help us jump. What are the big muscles? Well, our quads and our glutes are the biggest muscles in our body. Why don't we use them to jump? Our calves are what most people use, and they use them inappropriately. A smaller muscle group, not as mechanically advantaged to move our bodies, and that's what most people use to jump. They use their toes to jump, and we're going to teach you how to use your heels and how to use your quads and your glutes to do that. So the first thing we do is we get people sitting on a box, and there's a fun little game we play, and it's feet up, arms back. So we're going to lift your feet up, and the arms come back, and then you push your legs into the ground and jump up. Now you notice a couple things happen there. I pushed down hard into the ground to drive myself up. That's ground force, if you remember from the videos we made earlier. And then the other thing you'll see me do is really get my arms into the motion. Okay, the arms are critical in developing speed and power and moving your body quickly. So I want you to really get into using your arms. Watch again. I'm going to do a couple reps in a row so you can see it in real time. Okay, So I'm going to bring the arms back and lift the feet up. So arms back, feet up, jump, and right back to landing. Arms back, feet up, jump, right back to landing. I'm really working hard at pushing down into the ground. So that's our first exercise that we teach people. The box is here for a very specific reason, and that's to keep people from falling backwards. We don't want anyone to get hurt doing our exercises, and it's also a nice way to keep the knees and hips safe. Oftentimes when people don't have a box to sit on, what they'll do is I'll stand to the side so you can see my knees a little better, but they'll get really forward with their knees, and that can create a lot of knee discomfort. We don't really want to do that after a certain point in our lives. It becomes very uncomfortable. So let's avoid knee pain. Let's use a box. If you don't have a box at home, use a chair. They work well. The only thing I recommend is you back the chair up against a wall so the chair does not scoot out from underneath you when you're doing these exercises. For obvious reasons, that would be a very bad thing. So first exercise is the box jump up. And then the second exercise that we like to teach people is what we call the step off. So I have a step here, and we use this to teach the loading phase of jumping. In the first exercise, we literally just worked on the explosive phase of jumping, which requires a lot of pushing down into the ground or downforce through your feet. But you have to be able to get there quickly. And in the golf swing, this phase is really important. And I'll demonstrate it right here. You're going to bring the club up, and then you have to drop your hips a little bit. From the front, it looks like this. You bring the club up, and you drop the hips a little bit. Now you have to push down into the ground to create that rotation, okay? So this is the loading phase right here. And we're going to practice that off the step right now. We're going to do a loading phase off the step. And it looks like this. You're going to step up with one foot. You're going to swing the other leg out in front of you, and you're going to drop down real quick. So if you notice, what I did is I swung my arms down really quick and dropped the hips down. Let's do that again. So I'm going to step up, arms come up, arms go down really quick. Now I'm in that jumping position, and it's perfect for developing downforce. And remember, these are exercises to help you learn how to do it again or for the first time properly. So now I'm going to turn this step sideways so you can see this next phase, which is loading and then jumping up. Okay, so we're combining both exercises together now. We're combining the box jump up with the step off, and we're going to get the step off to jump. That's going to be combining the loading phase and the unloading phase, which is ground force, okay? So here it is. You're going to step up, leg comes forward, arms go up, drop down quickly, jump up to the step. Now I'm going to try to do it a little bit quicker so it flows a little better. It's important if you're doing this at home that you don't have the boxes and the step too close together because it makes it feel a little cramped. So here we're going to go. We're going to step off, down, up, and you notice I kind of float up onto that step. There's so much pressure going down that it kind of floats me up onto it. So step off, right up onto it. That's the third exercise we like to teach people to help them learn how to develop ground force. And the fourth is obviously we use the ground not just vertically, but we use it rotationally. And then the fifth way is use it laterally. So how do we teach rotational ground force? We like to use a step. You're going to straddle the step, and you're going to jump up onto it, kind of like a surfer, okay? You know how surfers get up on top of the surfboard like this? That's what we're going to be doing to actually help our golf swing. So you're going to straddle the step, you're going to jump up onto the step sideways. Notice the hip rotation and shoulder rotation. This is called separation. My shoulders are not facing this way, getting a really good twist, getting really good separation, and jump back down. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 reps each way, and then I'll be short of breath. We'll see how it goes. Okay, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I rest. Okay? I'm trying to do that as quickly as I can using the ground. If you notice, I'm coming off the ground and landing hard on the step and coming right back down the ground, working on improving that speed. The last exercise that we're going to work on for developing better ground force reaction is lateral jumping. So with lateral jumping, I'm going to turn the step sideways, and I'm going to stand on the side of the step here, like this, and I'm going to jump over the step sideways, producing really good lateral loading, and then obviously unloading when I jump. So I'm going to load in this phase, so I'm bending into that leg that I'm standing in, I'm loading, and then unloading, loading, unloading. So load, unload, load, unload, load, unload, load, unload. Nice and quick like that. Those are our top 5 developmental exercises for teaching people how to develop better ground force skills into their golf swing. If you have any questions and you'd like to learn more about this, please comment below and we can set up some time to talk.